points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular as we were getting into this game. I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. You know, the hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18 match set, right? We've been playing so far on 12 match sets time and time again, but moving over to that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set, that's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right, E-Arena, 39 points in one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So, I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal to the metal. Aurora starting off strong is really good, because historically, they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies, and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it here. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently, like you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice tournaments to hold on to Pachinki. So for me, I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked Fourth Thrive's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very peer position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that Fourth Thrive's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo. He's hiding in a corner. You don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening to a team out there, so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. And I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by IDA players and kind of have some exchanging of words. And I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last game, it showed, just like, because guess what? 4 Thrives. They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a silly fight happening in Pachinki. We'll take those eliminations, and they got some of them, right? So I think now that you have 4 Thrives, especially now on the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, IDA and Enigma Galaxy have to start second thinking, I think, some things. But at the end of the day, like you said it, you know, for those of you guys that don't know Ralph's true name, it's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, all right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out IDA, but now that you have 4 Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere.
Yeah.
For any eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in-game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
Wala na.
Diyan. Oh, gagawin.
경쟁하는 힘든 일입니다. 하지만 이런 플레이 라운지에 오게 되면 즐거운 게 되게 많죠.
저희가 이 플레이 라운지에 왔기 때문에 이 플레이 라운지에 있는 것들을 즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠.
이 공간은 협력 공간입니다. 대회 측과 이 공간은
क्योंकि कुछ
탁구장에 있는데 저희가 한번
एक दिन में कितने मैच होते हैं 6 मैच होते हैं ब्रदर अभी 3 हो गया 3 रह गए कल फिर 6
한번 재밌게 해보도록 하겠습니다.
وردي يبدي يبدع مثل ما شاء.
대회를 할 때면 항상 배고플 때가 있는데
WC에서 제공해주는 음식이 있는데 그 품질이 아주 좋고 최고급이라고 해서 저희가 한번 먹으러 와봤습니다.
아 배고프다 빨리 가자.
Welcome back to the Hot Drop Watch here as we await the fate of Pachinki. It is still undetermined as to who is going to last the longest in that location, and if we may have a 4th, a 5th, or maybe even more teams. Perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
You know what? I'm in. I want to see that action. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, if it was going to be possible, now would be the time because it's the last one of the day. But you know what? It's time to see what exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Aaron Gale of day 1 of the finals. And let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage. Of course, every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the west point of Sosnovka military base. And it will be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early over towards Severny. Tiamba over into North George. I'm keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here.
Oh.
You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as Ida and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, though, we got to give massive props to Enigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in 4th place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner towards the start of the day, right? So they do have a little bit of a foundation to try and do this with, but they could be so much further ahead without this situation. It looks like we're not going to see a 4th Rise flex out. Instead, S2G are the closest by on the southwest side. Nongshim Red Force, who have yet to touch the floor of their parachute, could potentially also flex in from the southeast side, but I feel like S2G are the most likely right now to cause problems for Ida. Enigma Galaxy on the north side of Pachinki, they're split right now, but you can see Rita on that off angle could be quite important. Ralph seems like they know he's in this building, but the nade won't connect.
Yeah, that was a warning nade for sure. You can see Satan up on the roof here, or on this ledge, trying to get a little bit of information. He knows exactly where Rita is. It's a big stalemate, though. This is the hard part about these hot drops, and I can hear it. That loot truck is now driving on by the precious loot. Satan's like, that should have been ours. I want it. No. Oh, Lord gets knocked. And did he get thirsted? No, he actually gets beat up pretty bad. Satan, through the door! What a clutch knock for this team.
Able to take out the off angle there, and Ida are going to really struggle to get back to this one. It's across the road, and I don't think you can break past that. The res, though, in the meantime, is going to be there, and because it's so early in the game, it's so much less likely that you've got the nades on side to just completely suppress that res position, which allows Enigma Galaxy to go back to 4 and leaves Ida stranded on 3. Rita getting knocked there is the most crucial part of that fight, Jukes.
Man, that was an insane shot there from Satan. I mean, that's that game sense, guys. Shooting right through the door. He knew he was there, and he makes the play for his team. It's one of those micro plays, right? That when you make that kind of play, it just changes the entire situation for your squad. And now, because of that, Enigma Galaxy up ahead against Ida.
They still have to get a little bit more pace to it, though, and Ida are retreating now right to the southeast point of Pachinki. They've read that immediately Satan can move out, get this position on the off angle that they were previously in control of. The fact that they're aware of that is good, but you're just going to keep losing players. At this stage, I feel like Enigma Galaxy definitely have had a better result so far in this Pachinki hot drop. They were very ready for it. As you said, they will have known, they will have been aware that this is unfurled.
Yeah, and what are you going to do if you're Ida at this point? I mean, look where they're at on the leaderboards. I mean, this is crazy. 16th place, only 2 points so far. If I'm their coach, anybody that is in the leadership of this team, I'm like, give it up, guys. We lost. I mean, I get it, right? Day one, you're going to battle it out with Enigma Galaxy to see if you could conquer this location, but it's an L. Like, you got to at some point realize that this is not going to work for us. If we want to be able to do well in this tournament, I mean, Erangel is the majority of the maps we're going to be playing here. We cannot afford to continue doing this.
It is pretty devastating. They have only lost one player this time around, but the loot is going to be fairly thin on the ground. The vehicle condition, like, I don't know, man. It's really cutting the legs out from underneath themselves.
It's terrible. I mean, you're down a player. You don't get the loot truck. You don't get any. You're under looted at this point. I mean, it's just a loss overall. And their where they stand on the leaderboards is a pure reflection of that. So, yeah, you know, I always say that when it comes to these kind of hot drops or these situations in general, I really do think these need to be settled in rehearsals. You know, in the pre-matches where it's like, hey, you know what, guys? Have a little handshake agreement. We're going to drop in Pachinki this game. Whoever wins it gets it, you know? Fair
enough. Yeah, well, I don't think that would ever happen. But yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It is a question, right, that is rooted in a lot more, I think, subjective opinion for a lot of people.
Sure.
Because you have that question of, if we give up our drop spot, are we just going to be easily pushed around in the future, right? Like, are you trying to do that sort of thing. I mean, it's like negotiating contracts, negotiating business there. It is one strategy is to just be like, okay, we'll go somewhere else. But you can hold your nerve. And if you guys want to be the best, then you guys need to hold your nerve, and you can look good doing it using the Naruto skins here. Make sure you're heading into game, get that character set, get that Ninetales Fury AUG skin, get that one.
Out and looking real good. As you know, Tiambos have been looking really good today. They're in 4th place, 31 points. Milu, man, the way he started off that Rondo match was just
crazy.
wild. I mean, this man has been performing all tournament long for his squad. He had, for sure, right, the play of the tournament. That 1v4 earlier in the group stage was so sick.
Yeah.
And then come finals time, the way he started out, they are looking really good.
Absolutely. They are currently in 4th place right now. Looking to try and keep themselves within striking distance of that 1st place spot, Godlike. Would love to try and join them, but they are a little bit more destitute on that points front with only 8 towards the bottom of those tables. Another circle heading up towards the north side, split by that central river. A lot of open ground south of Severny being covered actually mostly by Aura, who have a wide spread around the river, are causing a lot of problems. I'm interested to see how many teams look to head east of Yasnaya. Furia likely going to do so. Could potentially see that from teams who are still on the military island, by the way, Aurora and Al-Ula. And maybe we'll see it from one of the 2 teams who are still in Pochinki too, because, well, it looks like either looking to push back in and re-engage. Enigma Galaxy have been working the ground in the meantime, snaffling up all that loot and checking every corner, or at least I hope they are.
Yeah, they better be, that's for sure. I mean, you can definitely tell they're keeping their head on a swivel here. They got to know that Ida's around here somewhere. They're just clearing building by building with Satan on the other side, rocking a 3-1 split. Got to be careful, though. One day could be dangerous. Oh, the shots ring on out, and the knock onto Coops is huge.
He's got another nade as well. Coops is in danger here. Ralph does need to get some healing done before he can go for that revive, but he should be okay to do it. You can't step forwards and go for the cross. And again, Satan is on that off angle. Just about misses Swain on the cross, but he should be able to call that one out. Should have spotted it. Lord is already cooking a nade. He knows he's in the building now. Launches it forwards, and he takes it down. Beautiful communication.
The plays from Enigma Galaxy in Pochinki are just insane. How do they do these wild bounce back shots, nades that just turn the fight in their direction? This just goes to show you, when you know this side of the map like the back of your hand, it's gonna pay dividends.
In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force and Fourth Rise are going head to head. And at the moment, it looks like Fourth Rise are in the driver's seat. This is out to the east side of Potato Hill, but they are grabbing a couple of flushes on board as well. As we keep going with this hot drop though. Yeah, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to try and get out, just leave a solo survivor coming on through. And another knock goes on in. This is Enigma Galaxy sweeping it under the rug. They're putting this hot drop to bed. It cannot come back tomorrow. It would be a terrible idea.
I can't stress how difficult this is to do, right? To be able to deal with this hot drop so frequently and to just execute in this perfect fashion. I mean, not losing a single player, getting those four points early on is just insane.
There was a hard north shift on the circle in the meantime. We are watching all of this hot drop unfold, but it is pushing teams now north very, very quickly, which is causing conflict around the crossings as Coops finds the final player on Ida. And down they go. All 4 players from Enigma Galaxy are there, and no third party came on through as well. Now we're going to jump over towards the teams that are looking to put pressure on up towards the north side. We talked a little bit about Nongshim Red Force losing 3 of their players. Fourth Rise lost 1, but they did manage to get the 3 points for that fight. They are both still south of the river. Ulf Orangutan now on this northern side of Roshok River, and trying to get their foothold to move in towards those shooting range hills, potentially over towards Severny Way.
Yeah, we've been really focused on that Pochinki fight for so long. This zone is all the way up to the north, like you mentioned. We already got Fudia up there in Severny, E-Arena over by shooting range right now, taking that Snake Hill position. And now we're going to see a lot of these teams start make that rotation. Aurora Gaming, oh, the one rock You gotta hit it for good luck.
That's a map open right there. Guaranteed. 100% looking at the map.
Yeah.
No ways.
I think we're gonna go here, guys. You're
Oh, he's going to go again? Oh, no. Okay, we're getting a little replay. This is on the 4th drive and Nongshan Red Force fight. They'd already lost T24, but the hold from Hazaifa, the angles that he was able to clock, it seems, pretty efficacious on the high ground there. Love to see it for 4th drives. Aurora on their crossing, run into Vitality. Looks like they may have run their last across these bridges. This western hold looking quite good for Vitality, who, for the time being, have been a little bit quieter, I think it's safe to say, than their group stage performances, but they're still very much there. They're still very much present. Certainly their presence is being felt by Aurora on this northwest side.
Vitality. Oh, southern shift here, and a big southern shift. This actually might be really good for the side of Enigma Galaxy, as they're going to be mushing in super late here. And are you kidding me? If this zone actually south shifts one more time to Roz, that would be devastating for this lobby. Aurora, I'm trying to figure out, what do you think they're doing here, right? They're over there by North George, splitting up, maybe trying to find some late loot.
Well, I mean, they were being held out by Vitality,
yeah,
right? So
you're right.
They're just trying to take a turn around the town to maybe allow Vitality to disengage and then maybe re-engage later on, see what they can do with a little bit less pressure from the river crossing on that front. Team Flash over on the east side need to settle their score with Alola to try and get towards the circle. And it is not looking pretty for Alola. They lose a player. Not a good start, but yeah, it would be kind of mental to send all the way down to Rozhok. It'd be great for Enigma Galaxy, right? They're still just on the north side of Pachinki, so they could just take up that mountain and lickety split, get themselves another chicken dinner. Godlike in the meantime on the hunt in the middle, getting stuff done, getting bits out to Aura, and it seems that they are going to be able to take at least one and get the flush for Godlike.
Mormon, the nade looks good, puts them all the way down to 1 HP. Mormon, pow, pow, pow. That's 12K getting the finish. And look at that. I mean, teammate instantly there with the vehicle to make sure that they can get him over to safety. So Aura going to have to go out pretty early here in this game. Only one single player up, see what he can do later on. But now we're off to the gas station with a Furia. Keeping their eyes on to Team Flash. Win has the P90 and the ghillie suit. So he definitely won that crate drop. He came out absolutely stacked to the teeth and hits the tree for good luck. That is a necessary thing to do here, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bold
just
strategy.
Little tap on the tree.
Tap, tap, tap.
Little shout out to Mother Nature there, just saying hi. And then...
Gotta make sure it's secure.
Yeah, and then proceeding to unleash lead into the hillsides around him. Hopefully. With that P90. Team Flash getting out of dodge from this east side could be tricky. S2G managed to make their way to one of the buildings here that is this lineup from S2G, from Orangutan, from Tianba, and from Ulf. On this lineup, very central on the circle, some very defensible positions, but teams will start to crowd in around them. Vitality and Aurora, this is the re-engage, Dukes.
Here they go, they're battling it again, and it looks like Aurora are on top so far with that knock on a Razak. Here you can see Zol driving around, trying to get some information. Federalis up close and personal, having to run back. Oh, it's Godlike on the other side. Yeah, that's too dangerous. Vitality need to disengage this, as their 6 is not covered, but Razy is driving up close and personal, giving an opportunity for Reesmus to put some shots onto him. And yeah, it's just down to these 2 players left for Aurora. This fight would have definitely went off earlier, but that third party from Godlike bought Aurora Gaming some time.
A little bit, but now they're down to 2. And Vitality doing a little bit of nade there, not ideal. E-Arena in the meantime trying to find their way in on the north side, but it's not looking super accessible right now. And now seems like they're engaged with the final player from Horror. Sleepy is holding it, but in the meantime a crash. S2G trying to roll across, but Tiamba are holding face against it, and they are not going to let S2G in without a fight. Aurora want to jump in and join the party here. A nade in, that could be brutal there, right under his feet. Is it going to blast him down? But there's an answer, and Reefus falls. A third knock over towards Tiamba, but now everybody has been isolated and evacuated from this fight. Nobody's left to put the pressure on this triple knock.
Are you kidding me? It looked like these guys were fighting in a lake of fire here. QZ in the center of it. And Top could have been there to make that play, but unfortunately, there are too many teams surrounding him, and it stopped that crucial third party.
Oh, another nade from Top. Doesn't quite connect there. There is an answering nade, and that is going to back Top off nicely. The run around there. Orangutan maybe missing a beat there, maybe missing a trick. Not able to flex out. Didn't quite have the angles on it.
Top!
Oh, Top just about behind the concrete there to keep him safe from catch, but they know exactly where he is. He's got two smokes. He is slap bang in the middle of the circle, though, Jukes, and that might be a little bit of a help until another team rocks up with nowhere to go. They're going to roll right on top of this guy.
Yeah, Top's cooked right now. He's just like, I think I'm just going to lay down right here.
He's on the simmer.
For as long as I possibly can. No standing up for me. It's straight hit the deck time on the side of Top. But hey, you know what? That's good, right? He's got a good position in zone. They're pretty high up on the leaderboard, so if they can just kind of hang on and get some placement points, that'll be good for him. But meanwhile, I mean, Tianba on a tear. 7 eliminations. Fortunate for them. They're able to get everybody back up here, and they're in a solid position in this circle. As we now look on over to Furia, Igor hopping out the vehicle here, getting punished by E-Arena for it.
Oh, it's not going well. It is not going well for Furia. Unfortunate, they're just going to be down to Chief, the other two players down on the hillside. Tianba, by the way, managed to fend off a triple team crash on their compound, right? They're now on 7 eliminations. They have done phenomenal stuff. It's likely they're going to have to fend off at least one more, but the number of crates around them is going to be ludicrous. They're going to have to try and figure out exactly what they want to put in their backpacks as Flash try to find their way through, thread the needle, but E-Arena are just going to roll it down. Mormon over the top. Doesn't even need to ring the doorbell to open that door. And Tops has to turn tail. Turney K sees to it. He's going to get backed off by a third party. I think that might be Orangutan chiming in. And now Tops has to head towards 4th Rise, so nowhere real to go for him as Hyunbin finally bites the dust, the last player alive for Nongshim Red Force.
E-Arena are putting some good points on the board here. I mean, they're having to really battle it out, holding the edge of that circle, because there's a lot of open field in this zone. And now you're going to see 4th Thrives. 6 eliminations so far. Falak with 2, Zypha with 3.
It's keeping Rozok in.
Oh my, I just saw that circle shift. Are you kidding me? Enigma Galaxy, they'll take that all day long, right? Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to get a little reward for those crazy hot drop efforts, and they'll definitely take that one to the bank.
Yeah, that's going to be friendly for them for the time being. For them, I feel like a good strategy is to start scouting the other side of the river now, though. I feel like you need to get someone in fast. The difficulty, of course, is that 4 Thrives, and now Vitality is starting to move in, and they don't have an outpost there. Move over to the bridge, a little bit out of the zone.
Yeah.
I feel like somehow you've got to find a coastal position on that riverbank. And if you hold towards the warehouse, towards the triple stack, it's just going to be a bleed out for Enigma Galaxy. The placements aren't really going to be enough. Yeah, I want a little bit more forward thinking there as Aurora lose their final player. Top could not stay in for too much longer. 4 Thrives though, getting crashed on.
Here they go. E-Arena not messing around here, just full sending it, non-stop aggression from this team. And it's been paying off so far, and that's why you can see them on top. Orban hopping on out, trying to hit that flick shot onto Hazyfa. Hazyfa's really hurt here. Great teamwork though from E-Arena, picking apart the likes of 4 Thrives.
Hazyfa has been so difficult to deal with, but E-Arena the only team to be able to take him down, and it took at least 3 of them. Turney K goes down with him, but 10 eliminations now for E-Arena. Very possible to get this res. This is the chance though for Enigma Galaxy to move across, and look at Ralph. He's getting over. Coops is looking to join him. This is the perfect opportunity whilst these teams on the east are preoccupied. A little bit slow to get the third party, but it is a good first step. I like what they've been able to do there. We've seen counterpointed river cross positions in 2-2 splits work well in the past. I'm hoping they can leverage that here. I'm a little bit disappointed in Orangutan on the north side. I feel like they could have poked their noses into that fight and third partied it as well. Moved a little bit further out to the east, been fairly safe from Tianba and gotten stuck in there, but they hold inside. and I don't think it was going to be enough.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed here in the EWC is the quickness these teams are ready to third party and take those opportunities. And it's just kind of surprising to see OG just kind of hold back there for a second. Then Galaxy, just due to the terrain, weren't able to even think about getting that third party. But because of that fight, it opened the door for them to be able to at least make that safe rotation and get that 2-2 split going that you were talking about. So let's see how they're able to capitalize onto it, though. As now is the calm before the storm. We are in stage number 5. All these teams just planning it out, trying to figure out, okay, if the zone goes over here, we're going to have to make these plays. If the zone stays on us, then GG, baby. We just shoot at everything in sight.
Yeah, we're going to get the next zone unveiling itself in the next 20 seconds or so. It's Godlike try and keep their ridgeline in play. This is a replay of the roll-up. Okay, this is when Irina crashed on towards 4th rise. Falak. Yeah, went down very quickly there to Joker. Not much you can do about that. When the flying vehicle launches over the top, the bunny rabbits bound on into your sightlines. He wasn't ready for it, which is kind of unfortunate. Next circle, though, comes in Jukes, and it will head over to the west. So I think the Galaxy do have to get on the...
Yeah, Godlike. Remember, as Power said, the domination starts now. Let's see if they can actually make that thing, though, as they got Ulf right behind them. They're super pinched, making it very difficult for them to make a play from their position. And now you can see Scarface getting up close and personal. As Power trying to smoke some things out, buy his teams some time. It's going to be up to him and Admino, though, as they are just trying to hold this spot. Unfortunately for them, though, it's outside his circle. Yeah, so now Ulf are in a perfect position to gate cardi this. Oh, nice shots, though, from Admino. But unfortunately, those smokes are perfectly put, and he's not able to get the thirst.
The nade is up high, doesn't quite go the distance. It went completely out of his viewing angle there. If it had been just a little bit further, that could have been a straight knock there. S-Power gets across. Managed to get some healing started as well, but that blue zone pressure is coming through. We're looking at OG and Irina, as well as Enigma Galaxy, also having to make moves in the meantime, Dukes. Teams that have to make some difficult decisions now, and OG are making it right now. They're going to roll straight on forwards, try and get dead center here and contest with Enigma Galaxy on the coastline into Vitality sightlines as well. They drop down, and 3 of them managed to get across, not unscathed, but alive.
Great IQ of a rotation. They knew that one little plateau was right there. They were able to head straight. In trouble. The closest nade, he's done. Oh, able to get the heal off, and now get some shots downrange. Headshot onto Mormon. Joker right there next to him, though. Can Coops get to safety? No, he gets knocked, and Arena are going to continue to apply that pressure, getting that thirst immediately there onto Coops. Enigma Galaxy just getting picked apart. That 2-2 split not working out.
That was insane for Coops to be able to do so much damage on that angle. He really held Ralph in the game there, and are leaving Enigma Galaxy on 3. Orangutan lost players on the center as well. They are now down to just 2 as Arena make the same mad dash. The mad crash against Tianbao will not work out for them, and Arena evaporated.
The Arena evaporated, and they end up feeding the beast that is Tianba. They did put some good points on the board for them, and I love to see that aggression. Let's see if Tianba, though, can put even some more points and get this chicken dinner. They already have 10 eliminations. They're looking pretty unstoppable. S-Power forced to hit the deck. Ulf now with those sight lines just punishing them. I mean, they have this position locked down.
You needed Admino to be on an angle there to suppress Ulf, but no, not quite there, not quite ready, didn't have the presence, and it's a difficult spot on the north side, so I can't really blame them too much there. The final flush onto Godlike as well. Another nade over towards Tianba. They're getting caught in the crunches. Enigma Galaxy move up the hill. They're challenging Orangutan. They're challenging Tianba. They're doing a lot on this eastern side. Enigma Galaxy strike at the opportune moment.
Perfect timing there for Enigma Galaxy. They understand the situation. Hey, we got to push up. We can't just sit back and relax, wait for them to come to us. And you can see Lord with those nades applying the pressure. I think they need to slow things down a little bit, though. The circle is coming. The circle will push these teams out. So you want to make sure you hold on to all of that utility up until that last and final second. And I think they realize that. That's why they're starting to hold on to those nades. But the shots ringing out. Eagle getting a nice knock on the air, and that's their biggest threat right now.
Catch though with the response over to QZZ, and it leaves Eagle alone. Dropping that smoke, the zone starts closing in 15 seconds, so this res needs to be now. It needs to come through as fast as possible to be able to be in a position to move out. Orangutan lose their final player. Gone. And it is going to go down to Enigma Galaxy, who are now up on 7 elims. Their transition from across the river has gone so well for them.
What a game from Enigma Galaxy, getting hot dropped over and over and over. They take out Ida in just a beautiful fashion. And now with this fortunate zone shift are putting the punishment on this lobby as they take down Eagle from Tianba.
Now QZZ will go down too, and Tianba knocked out. They managed to get a whole host of points though, 14 on the match. And they will keep themselves in the running for the podium. Enigma Galaxy looking to join them. There's not enough room for both of you. You've got to organize it. Back to front, stand the line. But Vitality gonna have to leave as well from their cover on that south edge.
Does Solus not see Satan right there in that corner? He had to see him now. No, he's too focused downhill. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be Axel that catches him out. So it's all up to Vitality. Axel, the last player up. Is he able to survive?
Oh, Ralph gets knocked as well. Ulf are captaining from this compound for quite a while now. They haven't had to leave it. And when they do, it's against 2 duo teams with one of their players on either side knocked. For Ulf, this should be a clean sweep. There are no two ways about it, but it might get a little bit hairy. Lord is shut out first, and Eren doesn't even hit the deck. A 2v4 here would be needed for Vitality, and they are getting cut across, sliced and diced. Ulf are on the hunt. Downhill, they roll on in, and it's just Razy to stand in their way. The smoke billows, the P90 at hand. You couldn't ask for a better setup, but Ulf are here, and they have the nades, the ordnance to blast them apart at the seams.
And that is how you do it, folks. Ulf just taking full opportunity there. But they didn't just sit on their hands, right? They just saw, they hunted down every elimination they possibly could, and then once they realized that those teams were weak, they pushed out immediately and were able to get it done.
Some real heads-up plays, some proactive plays during that match. I mean, we focused a lot at the start on the hot drop, but the rotations up towards the north side also came in to be really impactful later on into that match, right? It was the teams that got there early that had the staying power. For me, a highlight of that game was also Tianba holding off against the triple crash. It was Aulula, followed by S2G, followed by Aurora. Everybody wanted to get into that central compound, but they denied them access at every single turn. It was a shame that Tianba couldn't go the full distance. They did get shut out. And I feel like for Orangutan, they could have had more of an impact on that northeast side that would have changed the tune there. And hopefully they can find those opportunities in the future. It would be great to see them perform at the level we know them to be capable of from their performance in the group stage. But it is looking pretty powerful on multiple fronts.
It's so tough. I mean, everybody here is playing just hyper aggression. Zero hesitation gameplay here live in Paris. The second you see an opportunity, these teams are taking it. One team in particular, right? We got to talk about it. Is E-Arena. Just straight aggression there towards the end game. They soak up a ton of eliminations. Unfortunately, don't get the chicken dinner, but when you get that many elims, that's a good game no matter what.
Yeah, that fight with 4 Thrives over the ridgeline worked out well for them. And again, the lack of third party allowed them to keep in the match for a lot longer. They were down to just a single player standing at one point, but they managed to get back to 3 to recover that pressure without any third party look-ins coming on through. And yeah, for E-Arena, it's a good result. I would even say it's a great result to keep them at the top of the tables, to keep, well, I don't know if they're actually at the top of the tables anymore. We'll have to double check that, but a man who could find out is Kalaris down on the stage with E-Arena.
I'll try my best, John Allen. Yes, that's right. E-Arena looking fantastic so far, so let's ask them a few questions about the games here to get things rolling. So first things first, your previous win going up against Furia. Were you surprised by Furia's approach to the late game? And talk to me about that late game in general after you got the win.
ในเกมที่เราต้องเจอกับฟิวเรียนะฮะในเกมที่เราชนะเมื่อสักครู่เนี่ยฮะตอนที่เราเจอกับฟิวเรียฮะเรารู้สึกเซอร์ไพรส์นะกับวิธีที่ฟิวเรียเล่นเพลย์สไตล์ของฟิวเรียในเกมนั้นครับ
แปลกใจอยู่ครับแต่ก็รู้ว่าเขาเล่นอย่างนั้นอยู่ครับก็เลยไม่ได้ตื่นเต้นเลยครับ
Well, we expected, but still we still surprised with how they approaching the teams. But even though the last result is that they winning the games.
Okay, so you guys got very close to qualifying via the group stage and then came really close to not qualifying via the survival stage. So has there been any difference in approach here to the final? What has the team talked about to adjust here coming into the finals of PMWC?
ก็ขนาดที่2นะฮะในกรุ๊ปสเตจเราก็เกือบที่จะได้ควอลิฟายแล้วส่วนในรอบ Survival Stage เราก็เกือบที่จะตกรอบแล้วด้วยซ้ำในตอนนั้นอยากถามว่าในตอนนี้รู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็พอเราเข้าไฟนอลมาได้ใช่ไหมครับก็ทุกอย่างก็เริ่มใหม่ครับทุกคนเริ่มจากศูนย์เราก็เริ่มจากศูนย์ก็เลยไม่กดดันอะไรครับ
Well, right now we have zero pressure at all. Like, so we are here to to win, of course. And it's like since everyone, this is a new day, new group. So this.
The answers. That does it down here on the stage. We'll be with you for more from PMWC in just a moment.